Hey guys, here we go. Today, we're going to do matrix and the calculator. I got a little banged up. All right, here we go. Matrix and a calculator. So let's say I have a matrix, and this matrix is 2, 1, negative 3, 0. And I have another matrix, B, negative 1, 3, 0, 4. Now, let's say I want to do some baby math with it. So, for instance, like I want to double A. I want to multiply by a scalar A. I'll double it. Well, you just double all the pieces. So 2 becomes a 4, 2, negative 6, 0. You just multiply everything by 2. So take a wild guess and see what you get for A plus B. Okay, so hopefully you just added the pieces. So 2 and negative 1 is 1, 1 and 3 is 4. Negative 3 and 0 is negative 3, 0, 4 is 4. Now what if I want to multiply these things? Well, it's not how you think it should be. So when you multiply, there's some rules. So first off, when you multiply, it can only be an m by n, whatever that is, row and column, times the same number of columns times some other, the same number of rows as the old columns. It's like a weird thing. So the easiest thing would be, and you're allowed to, is just use a calculator. Well, you might be like, well, how do I use a calculator? So here we go. Over the inverse button is matrix. So press second matrix. Let's type in A. So the first thing is we go to where it says edit, press edit, and I want to edit the A. Now right now it's set up by 1 by 1. 1 row, 1 column. Well, that's not really helpful. So I want a 2 by 2. So I press 2, enter. Now notice 2 rows, 2 columns. And I'm going to enter in the numbers. 2, enter, 1, enter. You could also use the arrow keys if you want to move around also. Negative 3, enter, 0, enter. Let's check this out for a second. So second, quit. Now, the matrix is in there. So let's try the first one we did. 2 times A. So 2, press matrix, second, matrix, and now we just use the names because that's telling me matrix A. So press number 1. So this says 2 times A, and the answer is 4, 2, negative 6, 0. You got to kind of ignore these extra matrix things. Just ignore those. Let's try A plus B. Well, we got to put in B. Second matrix. Edit. Put in B. Now, to do the A plus B, second matrix under name. And that's how we get our 1, 4, negative 3, 4. Let's multiply. I would do second enter and change the plus to a multiply. And we get negative 2, 10, 3, negative 9. Now, if you want to do it by hand, you're allowed to, and I can show you how to do that, just not on the calculator sheet. So let's try some more. Now, we've been working with determinants. So let's try a determinant problem. Ooh. So here we go, determinant. So let's find determinant A. So it was 2, 1, negative 3, 0. And remember our old rule, or the rule is down minus ups. 2 times 0 is 0, minus ups negative 3. Determinant is equal to 3. Well, let's check it on the calculator. So let's press second matrix, and under math, go to math. The first one says DET, determinant. What determinant? A. Second matrix A. And it gives you 3. Well, let's do determinant of something larger. All right. So we got a 1, 0, -2, 0, 4, -1, 3, 5, 2. Let's find a determinant of this thing. Now you can pick a different matrix. I'm just going to throw under A. It doesn't matter to me. And this is a 3 by 3. So enter it in. And mine's not working because I typed in 33. That's crazy. All right. You're probably done by now. Hold on. Oh, look, mine did work. All right. So 1, 0, -2, 0, 4, -1, 3, 5, 2. What I could do to check this is if I quit this, I can press second matrix and just press number 1, and it'll tell me if I have it. So 1, 0, -2, 0, 4, -1, 3, 5, 2. Now I want the determinant of A. So I already typed it in up here, but you can either press math, matrix math, or I can just go second enter twice. Hit enter. The determinant of A is equal to 37. Now, what can we do with this determinants? Well, we've done Cramer's rule. We did just finding a determinant. There's something else. Area of a triangle. Area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 the absolute value of the determinant of A. Now notice where I said if you just put the straight lines around the matrix, right, like this, that means it doesn't mean absolute value. But notice this is absolute value around the word determinant. So because I always want positive value for area. So let's try a problem. So let's say we have a triangle, right? So I want to find the area of the triangle. And it's 1, 3, -3, 0, and 5, 0. So this is how you're going to do the matrix, okay? So it's going to be 1/2. And you're going to, this is the X and Y. So 1, 3, but then you put a 1 on the end to make this work, okay? Reason? Just because it's how we do it. So this is our matrix that we're going to use. All right, so second matrix. I'm just going to use A. It's already set up as a 3 by 3. Second matrix, edit. Enter, enter, and type it in. Once we type it in, we're going to go second quit. Now, actually, my old line was determinant of A. So I could just go second, enter, enter. I get 24, but I have to take half of it, divide by 2. Or you could do that in your head. So the area of this triangle is equal to 12. Why don't you try it again? New points. So find the area of the triangle. 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, -1. Try it out. Second quit. I'm going to do second enter twice to get to my determinant. Hit enter. Uh-oh, negative 56. My determinant is negative 56. Don't forget, I need the absolute value. So half of positive 56, the area is 28. Let's do, what else can we do? We could do Cramer's rule. All right, let's try Cramer's rule. All right, so Cramer's rule. All right, now Cramer's rule said this. X equals determinant x over determinant. Y equals dy over d. And z equals dz over d. And these take a lot of time because you got to set up all these determinants. Well, let's do a system here. So we got this. X plus 2y minus 3z equals 18. Negative 3x minus z equals negative 20. So negative 20. And y plus 3z equals negative 13. All right, so let's set up the matrix. So the matrix would be this: 1, 2, negative 3, negative 3, 0, negative 1, 0, 1, 3. All right, in the system, I would set it up like this if I want the system equals 18, negative 20, and negative 13. Okay, now this is going to give me the D. So I'm just going to show the work. I'm just going to set it up. 1, negative 3, 0, 2, 0, 1, negative 3, negative 1, 3. So if they ever say, do this by Cramer's rule, this is what you're allowed to do. Crunch this in, find the determinant. Try it out. I get D equals 28. So let's find dx. So remember, we swap out. So it's 18, negative 20, and negative 13. Keep the other ones. 2, 0, 1, negative 3, negative 1, positive 3. Change the matrix. This time I'm just going to go right down the line. 18, down, negative 20, down, negative 13, enter. I keep the rest. Divided by 28, I get x equals 8. Do it again for dy and dz. So my answers for this problem are 8, -1, -4. What else could we do? Oh, we did this with row echelon form. Remember, we were doing row reduction. So let's try this with row reduction. All right, row reduction. Let's try this. All right, so reduced row echelon form. So reduced row echelon form. Your calculator calls this RR. Actually, they use lowercase. So let's use the lowercase. They call it RREF. So you want to enter the augmented matrix. So 1, 2, -3, 18. So I want to enter this matrix. All right, so here we go. Second matrix, edit. Actually, I'll do this under a different one. This is going to be 3 rows, 4 columns. And we're going to type this all in as one big matrix. So just type it all in. And it's going to go, when you hit enter, it'll just slide you over to the one you can't see. And it'll bring you back over. All right, so now it's all typed in. So I have it under C. So it's a 3 by 4. So now second quit, second matrix, math, and if you scroll down, there's a, says RR, not that one, right there, RREF. So I'm going to hit that and I'm going to tell it to go to C. And look at that. So it comes down to 1, 0, 0, 8, 0, 1, 0, -1, 0, 0, 1, -4. And those are my answers. So that's another way to do it. Okay, so what else can we do? Inverses. Okay, so let's do some inverses. Now, we did a video, well, I had a video, and so for inverse. Now, for inverse of a 2 by 2, so let's say we had a 2 by 2. So A, B, C, D. Oops, daisy. All right, we're okay now. A, B, C, D. All right. So the inverse of an A, B, C, D. The inverse is this. All right, this is A. What was this? 1 over the determinant of A. And then we had to do some weird stuff. It was switch the diagonal, the down diagonal. So DA like this. And just switch the signs on the up diagonal. So it'd be negative B, negative C. So for instance, if I want to do, let's get matrix A, 4, 2, 3, 2. And I want to do the inverse. Okay. Well, let's see now. I need the determinant down. So the determinant would be 8 minus 6. So it would be 2. So it would be 1/2. And we switch the diagonal. So it's 2, 4. And then switch the signs, -2, -3. And then what we do is like distribute the scalar through, multiply by the scalar. 1/2 of 2 is 1, -2 gives me -1, -3/2, and 1/2 of 4 is 2. So that is A inverse. Well, there's an easier way. All right, so let's type in matrix A. So matrix, second matrix, and actually I'll put this under number 2, choice B. Oops, it is. That's totally not what to do. All right, second matrix, edit, number 2. So 2 by 2, and I'll put in my numbers 4, 2, 3, 2. 4, 2, 3, 2. Now, quit. So here we do. All you got to type in is A inverse. So ready? Second matrix A. Actually, it's under B. So clear that out. So we actually typed ours as B. So second matrix, I used B. And then I just press inverse button. Puts a little -1 on it. Notice the decimals. And what if they were like crazy decimals? These aren't bad, actually. Press math frac. It'll math frac it for you. And we get 1, -1, -3 halves, +2. Now, notice the original. If the determinant is equal to a 0, okay, that would be bad. It would be no inverse because it'll mess up. So let's try it again. So this time let's call it B. So B is, so let's pick B. B is, oh, let's do a crazy matrix. Let's do a 3 by 3. So something like harder that, you know. And once again, if you want to do it the real way, not the real way, the by hand, you can. And I'll show you how to do that if you wish. But otherwise, I would just use a calculator for this. There's nothing wrong. So I want to find inverse of B. Okay. So let's go. Second matrix, edit. And I'll put it in the first one. So 1, 2, 6, 1, -1. All right, so now second quit. So second matrix, I put on A this time because I swapped the letters. Inverse, and it says singular matrix, quit or go to. This means no inverse. You write no inverse. That's what that means. No inverse. Well, what's nice about inverse, you can use it to find solutions to matrix problems. So let's try the problem that we did before. Let's try it again. All right, remember the problem we had a second ago? So it's x plus 2y minus 3z equals 18. -3x minus z equals -20. You remember this problem? So y plus 3z equals -13. And we said it would look like this. So we got to set this back up. So 1, 2, -3, -3, 0, -1, 0, 1, +3. All right. Here's how another way to solve this using the calculator. You're going to type in, this is A, this would be B. A inverse times B. And that will give you the solutions. So let's try it. So second matrix, actually quit. Second matrix, edit. Number 1. Boy. And type in second matrix and enter. I'll do it under B. And this time, no. We have to change. So it's 3 by 1. And just type in the answers. So 18, -20, -13. So now we do second matrix A inverse. second matrix B. Enter. Remember our answers from before. 8, -1, -4. Same answers, whole bunch of different ways. And remember, the last way you need to know how to do is by row when you add the rows together. All right, that's pretty much everything you need to know with the calculator for matrices. If we think of anything else, we'll add to it. Thanks.